So I have a very important engineering question that I don't know the answer to. And that question is, when I have a gully or a ravine, how strong do I have to make a building to be able to put 20 or 30 feet of dirt over it, 10 meters, 12 meters, I don't know what that is, and have it not collapse, and have it be like a tunnel that goes under this dirt bridge that goes across the gap, and have it be strong enough that a vehicle could go across that dirt thing and the building still would be in no structural risk at all. And it could be a whole building with rooms and stuff, in addition to being a tunnel that lets you go up that ravine and also uses that space. We do have limited dirt we're going to move, so there's issues with that. And in some cases it's hard for me to visualize. Like, I know I'm going to move this dirt over here, over there to fill that ravine in. But like down there, also this ravine has a special case. It's my biggest one. There's other ones where maybe I should build a whole building into the gully that then you can walk on top of to get to another spot on the other side. In other words, I can look for opportunities in all my gullies to set up walking routes, and those can include even 2 levels for, allowing one-way traffic, walking traffic. How cool would that be? I mean, by definition, gullies are the biggest opportunity for filling them in with something. And if we fill them in with a building correctly, then we get the square footage and we get a spot for people to walk on top of it and get somewhere else. And we usually get view out of that. So off of that, there could be view spots. I don't know. And then the upper part of this gully could actually be a park. I want to buy that land on the other side of the gully, but I don't think they're currently motivated to sell it. And since I don't have money to motivate them with, I can't motivate them. Why would they be motivated without the money? But I could easily dump in so much dirt here, coming from wherever, that I could make from this road a ramp that goes up and then connects to both sides of it. I mean, there's a spot right over there that's already on its way, because there's a gully that comes down this direction, so it's already half made. No, I think these decisions are going to go beyond my drone guy. I think I need to talk to a civil engineer and a structural engineer for different reasons. But a civil engineer for slope issues, that this guy knows a lot, but I have some questions. I guess on the map I can just draw out every single thing I can imagine and color code it, so that, because some things I wouldn't need if other problems were fixed. Access issues. But I don't know which those are, which the best option is. Like, I could make a road that goes right up that. I could make a road that goes down that way. And when I say road, sometimes I mean almost trail. But I don't know that I would put one here. I'm not sure why I would. I don't think I need to connect up via vehicle these spaces. And connecting up by foot would be better with a stairway that goes through a building. So that stairway is actually a controlled stairway, the entryway to both sides of it. And you could have more than one stairway like that. Again, doing it one way, so that people going one way are walking up one way and then down the other way. We don't have this constant game of playing chicken with people. I hate it when I'm in town and there's narrow sidewalks and you're always running into people going on the same direction or the opposite direction as you, and that seems annoying. That only happens in busy places, but busy places should be made better. You know they're going to be busy. You know what you're building. Why don't you build it right? There's so much opportunity here. The question is, what's the best use of each piece of land? What's the ideal? And how can you have that piece of land be developed in a way that the highest density of people could stay there in the most efficient energy way, and enhance the forest around it, and have lots of easy access to get away from the building, to go either to outside buildings or to go to other buildings. Right here, I have dug out some camping spots along this slope. I already know where a trail goes down from over there to down there. And if you're going to go down there anyway, you might as well get off this road. So foot traffic out of here would go from way over there and then wind its way through this forest, zigzagging downward to a potential building spot. All of the areas in here, once I get this map, I will know what I'm going to do with it. Like right in here, it's already kind of a cleared spot. People have already gone through there with a truck once or twice. Is that a spot I want to put a road that goes off from this one to a whole nother gate? Maybe. Or do I want to make it a pedestrian way to get up there? I don't know. I have so many options going through my head that I'm confused. Like I want to dig big tunnels everywhere. Well, that sounds expensive as hell. You know, and then I want to build over those tunnels and have private spaces under them. That just makes sense to me, whether they're pathways or associated with a particular building or they're cold storage. You could do an infinite number of separate root cellars off of a tunnel and have carts be able to pick stuff up and move it out. Maybe on top even have spots where you can open it up and dump something in. And maybe you keep that entire section of the tunnel cold. The whole thing. So the root cellars themselves are cold, but you heat down that hallway quite a bit, or each building. And of course different root cells are different, for humidity in particular, where you might pick a side of it to be more humid stuff and pick a side to be more dry. Have something in the middle to block it up. For this year, 2025, I've missed my window of opportunity for camping during the easiest time of the year when there is camping. And I missed it on purpose. The reason I missed it was because there's fire hazard. And people equal a fire hazard. And so until I can make my fire breaks way, way, way better, do a whole bunch of underbrush clearing as preparing for planting other stuff, ground covers. I mean, anywhere we clear, like if we really clear out an area, we should immediately plant a ground cover on it, even just for improving the soil and to keep it less dusty. Whatever's needed, it doesn't matter. That's the hard part, is every spot's its own spot. Like I picture this as a little park right here, a shaded park. It's perfect. It needs to be cleared out in the underbrush. It needs metal outdoor seats sitting in the shade. I don't know how important a view is for a campfire, but I suppose like any time, a view never hurts. It just opens things up for you. And so, you know, I think of this slope over here, and I think about clearing out spaces for people in it to sit and be out of the wind and cold a little bit. They could have a little fire there and be sitting around it and also have a view of the lake. It could be like U-shaped. It could be cool. I don't know about that. People would be able to see the fire if you didn't design it right. They'd be able to see it from afar. And I would like this place. This would be an interesting noise pollution goal. is I would like it to be so that when you're over there on the other side of this valley and you look up here, you don't see any light. That's a hardcore choice. That's a very hardcore thing to say. Like no light pollution at all to the nearest by viewers. Now, in addition, of course, I care about light pollution for wildlife and bugs, and because lights bug bugs and stuff, and light pollution in general reduces your ability to see the stars and really enjoy the space well. Here's my most colorful composting toilet. It's an okay toilet. It's not perfect, but it's good. I need to clean up all the space around it. It's close to a building over here, so it'll be useful, but we'll put another toilet in as well. Once I'm really building for larger numbers, putting in toilets in a lot of places, or at least leaving space for them, so you could decide later to put in a toilet in there, would be perfectly brilliant. I'd love to know what software I can use to play with the different pieces I create. Like, I can think of like different slopes for different types of composting toilets and things I would do to make them better. And I should just be able to drag those around and on a like SketchUp or something, some CAD program, and then say, well, it's facing this direction, it has view, it doesn't have view. Here's what we're going to do with this toilet. Some views should have some toilets should have views. We're going to screen it in or not. We're going to window it in or not. Probably window it, because screens block your view, but they're good for airflow. I want a lot of airflow in the upper parts of toilets. There already is, but for future toilets, got to think about that shit. Well, I'm pretty excited. Some of the maps this guy's going to send me will be printable on A10 paper, apparently. And I think I should do a lot of printouts of them. I got to get my printer working and also my scanner, because I have another map that I would actually like to share with this guy. And I need to get my scanner working. So basically I need to fix up my geek shit, because right now my geek shit is all just focused on video. But since I want to set up a whole system for people, scanner's an obvious business type center thing to have, as well as terminals for posting your photos, Wi-Fi being the most important aspect there. There's a trail right here that I never go on. It's a beautiful trail. There's nothing I plan to do with most of that area over there. It's densely treed, which means it has at least dappled sunlight. And tossing a few outdoor furniture, cast aluminum things in there would be perfectly fine. I plan to put a better road through right here, but that's another matter. It should probably happen first, actually. Yeah, boy, this place has so much cool potential. I could put an entire building off of that building that goes this direction and change how I walk up to there. That seems a little self-centered because it's very focused on my own land. I'm thinking about keeping the middle part for myself with this chunk up here, and have a fairly big piece of land that is more under my control than not, and serves as a center for planning everything else out from it. It makes total sense. And eventually, I think that building shouldn't even have anybody sleeping in it. I think it should be ending up being the government building. The building for the various non-profits that run everything. It would be really for the main non-profit, I guess. But and hopefully it doesn't need to do very much, but you know, if I was going to put a ham radio in, maybe I'd put it in there. If I was going to put in better medical services, maybe I would put it in there because I have better access. So better communications, better transport. I have a spot to improve the whole kitchen, make one that serves more people, and maybe have this just be a neighborhood that only people who are members of other neighborhoods can even come into. So it's surrounded by other neighborhoods that have various rule sets, various workshops, various things, and it serves all of those through private connections. I've seen that kind of thing work at some festivals I've been to, and makes a lot of sense to me. And then this would be the last place to, when I die, go to the nonprofits, because it would be really smart to locate the right people, right, who are compatible with each other in various ways, want the same thing for their little gated neighborhood, you know, write up a description for each one, and then match people to it. And then they could actually get ownership, an ownership share. They would actually buy it. They would buy an ownership share on that community. Then they would also buy into the construction of a building, of which part they would own part. And that part would be kind of like a condo. It would be owned like a condo association. Oh man, my feet are killing me. All right. And also make it really easy for them legally to transfer ownership of that, or perhaps rent it for nothing out to other people, so they could move easily. That's just a weird idea I have, where people might not all want to be in the same place all the time. Sorry about that. And their space needs will change. And I guess ultimately, it's all very confusing from a legal perspective, but if you have all these different nonprofits owning parts of the land, you know, you should even make it easier for somebody to transfer their shares to another part of the nonprofit and join a different blob community thing as their needs change. I mean, let's say your parents, you know, you want to be in the parent area. Well, rather than have that developed as mixed use, because I want to, kids have very specific needs, you would move out of the community that no longer serves your needs. And it could be that some of these are for really people entering the system, more than anything else. For example, if someone came here and had their baby nearby, if they were foreigners, they would automatically get permanent citizenship with no financial requirements. Well, that happens to be a really cool thing to have, you know? And that way I could actually invite people here who are going to have a baby, and they would probably already have to be pregnant before they come. And they have to be here at least a month for that. But if they were really a choice for somebody who is a potential resident in a community, or potentially was going to buy nearby, they could use that time to be seeing land, to see if this is where they want to be, to investigate it. This is a way of me like recruiting young families. Check out the schools available, which won't be the same, I guess, if maybe they already have a kid, who knows. But, you know, the point is your needs change over time. Like, I definitely know that I'm old enough, and I've always been this way, actually, because I'm kind of grumpy. But I don't want screaming kids around me. I just don't want it. I understand kids are cool. I like them, too. A little bit. Like in a movie. or if they're just, if they don't fuck with my shit, that's important. I like to watch them. They're cute. They run around. They're so enthusiastic. I think that's a great thing to offer. But I guess when they're in my space, I want them to act like little adults. Which is a bit much to expect for some ages, but I think for the success of your child, especially if we're raising them in somewhat wild places with lots of other kids, is that each kid also spend time in adult spaces to learn how to act appropriately. And I don't know what age they can learn that kind of thing, but even at 4 or 5, they should know how not to like yell their head off or something, or touch other people's shit. Those ravens still. What are those ravens up to? Maybe they're preparing to have a party. Because this guy just sits up in the tree crowing, or cawing, or whatever the fuck you call raven noises. What is he doing? Is his wife sitting on the nest so there's no space for him? Could be. It's saying shit. I don't know what it's saying. Oh, man. One of the things I could probably do, I'm going to break this here.